It's time for our Sunday energy broadcast. Today's topic is going to be on emotions. Do you have emotions? Do you deal with emotions? Are there some emotions that you experience that are healthy? Some emotions that you experience that you'd rather not? We're going to be talking about that today, and especially emotions in terms of energy awareness training. All the things that I've been sharing with you these past few months. Some of you who are regular students, some of you regular viewers of the broadcast. So we're going to be building upon that knowledge that I've been sharing with you. So kick back, get comfortable, pull up a good beverage, and away we go. Now, let me just give you a quick recap, quick recap of energy awareness training so we can move right into the emotional piece. So those of you who are viewing this for the first time, energy awareness training is an all-new methodology that I developed and created that is able to recognize energy from a deeper hidden level. So what that means is there's a deeper reality of understanding, of awareness that can add to our lives and that most of us are not aware of. And we've heard the term energy, since school. You've heard the term maybe everything is energy. It doesn't really mean much to us, and that's a nice scientific concept, but we're interested in having better lives, having better relationships, making more money, being healthier, raising families, etc. So how can that help us? Well, Nikola Tesla, the great scientist, said that if you really want to understand the secrets and the mysteries of life, then you'll start to look at things in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And isn't it true that there's a lot of mystery in life? Isn't it true there's a lot of things we don't understand? And we wonder where these things come from? How about the COVID-19? Where did that come from? How'd that start? Why did it start? Well, that's a subject for another class. We're not talking about that today, but wouldn't it have been great if we had known about that before it got here? Wouldn't it be great if we were able to recognize dangerous patterns that could threaten us before they're upon us? Well, all of these things Tesla was talking about, what he calls are forms of energy. So when we're looking at the term everything's energy, and then Tesla says, if you want to understand the secrets, the mysteries of life, because life is energy is life, then you want to start looking at them in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So what I've done is I've developed on what Tesla said and have been able to look at these forces of energy and to be able to describe and recognize how these hidden energies, how this deeper reality affects us. And boy, does it affect us. So when we look at this world and you think, well, everything is energy. Well, what does that mean? It means basically that people are energy, right? That places are energy, that nature is energy, that business is energy, that relationships is energy, that money is energy. So we're basically living in an energetic world, and everything that we're dealing with is a process of energy below the physical nature of it. So what I teach and why this is so powerful and why this is capturing the imaginations of people worldwide that I teach this to is that it's another way of being able to understand and navigate the world that we live in. It's the ability to kind of have X-ray vision, to be able to see with a new set of glasses, a deeper reality that drives the physical reality. Because one of the things that I teach is that a principle is that everything that is physical comes from non-physical. Everything that is seen comes from the unseen. So, if you take the computer you're watching me on, once upon a time that didn't exist. Once upon a time it was just in the invisible realm. It was in the thought realm. And somebody said, hey, let's build this computer. Let's put this part and let's get this thing together and let's open up this plan. And from an invisible space, thought, consciousness, came a physical reality. Same thing with us as people. Our physical bodies didn't exist 9 months before we came into this world. We were a thought in our parents' mind when they were having a good time on a Saturday night. So why this is so important when we show up 9 months later? So why this is so important is that it gives us key insights that we were never taught. And as we learn to operate in this world, we've been taught a linear, logical way to try to figure things out, right? Try to move forward in life, try to do what's best for us. So we're using our logic linear way, and we're using our five senses. And that's important because that's a big part of navigating life. When we have a structure, babies to children, to adolescents, to teenagers, to young adults, to mid-adults, to senior citizens, there's a progression. There's a natural progression that takes place, and things that we're supposed to do. Go to school, graduate, find a job, hopefully find a mate, hopefully have kids, if that's what you want to do, and build a career, etc. So we're pretty much, as people, have a certain expectation of a linear staircase that we're moving up. And yet you come to a time, I came to it very early, when I realized, hey, there's a lot more going on that doesn't make sense, or that is not being able to be explained in the physical world. And what's the answers for that? So in our lives, we want to stay happy. We want to stay productive. We want to move forward, in positivity and in health and in joy. And yet so much of the times we end up in just the opposite of that. We end up in sorrow, or we end up in regret, or we end up, in suffering. And that's the stuff that we don't want. And you wonder, how did I get here? How'd this happen? And what do I do about it? Well, that was my quest for about 20 years, over 20 years, to find out, hey, there's obviously more going on than I was taught. And I want to find out the answers, because I want to change my life, because I want to have a better life. I want to get rid of the negative thoughts in my head, the dark emotions, and the feelings that come up inside me, and sometimes just take me over and cripple me emotionally, God forbid. But that happens when you're just you're overwhelmed emotionally. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because no one ever taught us how to deal with our emotions. Did anybody ever teach you? No one ever taught me. So what do? Well, there's certain things that we do naturally to try to deal with our emotions. Most of them aren't healthy. So when they're not healthy, that brings a whole nother set of circumstances to us all. So I want to say hi to a couple people who are coming on. Hey, Althea, glad you're here. Okay, so now, before we get into the piece of the emotions, as you've heard, hopefully in many of my other videos, that energy awareness training identifies the energies in the hidden or the unseen realm that drive the physical realm. That might be a new concept for you, and if it is, great. I have videos on my video channel that goes especially into how all this stuff works, but I'm just going to cover the headlines so I can get to today's topic. But there are energies or frequencies, just like Tesla said, that are mysteries. With these things that we go, why did this happen? Why did that happen? And how come I'm over here and I want to be over here? So many of the things that are mysteries. Well, Tesla says, if you look at if you look at these questions that you have in terms of energy and frequency and vibration, you're going to get answers. Okay, so I wanted answers. What are these frequencies? What is this vibration? So you're telling me that there's codes, there's frequencies like a radio dial, that if I'm tuned into the right frequency, I can understand what's happening to me. And the answer is yes. And that's what I've developed energy awareness training to be, because I've taken what Tesla said about energy and I've gotten more specific. I'm saying that if everything's energy in our lives, you, me, everything that we're doing is an expression of energy, then that energy has a power. It has a purpose. It has a frequency. It has an intelligence, and it gives off information. I may have said that twice. Power, purpose, intelligence, direction, and it gives off information. Now, why is that important? Because as we're navigating this world, there's so much that we don't see. We see roughly about, well, we're living in a three-dimensional world. Okay, pretty much everybody agrees we're living in this thing we call reality. There's three dimensions. But science says that there are 10, 12, maybe more dimensions, at least 10. Some of the latest studies in string theory and quantum physics. Well, if that's the case, if there's 10 to 12, then we're only seeing about 20 to 30% of what's going on. So you're navigating this life and you're only getting 20 to 30% of the information, which is why we make mistakes, or which is why we enter into relationships or jobs or activities or stuff that we think we want, that we think are going to be good for us, but they turn out to be just the opposite, right? Then we say, oh, if only I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have gotten into this relationship or taken this job or moved to this place like this. Because you didn't like the way it turned out. It wasn't what you intended it to be. Well, I always am amused when people say, you know what? I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have done this. I knew I shouldn't have done that thing. And I say, well, if you knew it, why did you do it? And most people say, I don't know. Oh, I love this one. You know, there was something telling me, I heard a voice that warned me clearly, don't get involved in that thing. That's not for you. Don't do it. And I didn't listen. Okay. Why didn't you listen? People, I don't know, right? Well, see, this is where the opportunity is, because this is the questions of, I don't know. Well, what if you did know? So what if there was a way for you to be able to recognize what direction a relationship, a job, an investment, a place to live, etc., was going to, what the direction it was going to go in before you did it? Would that be helpful to you? Of course it was. Of course it is. Of course it would be. Well, that's what we're talking about here in energy awareness training, because when you become energetically aware and energetically literate, which means you can read hidden energies, and that's what we teach you to do in my training, you recognize that you can see trends, you can see where things are going. And when you can do that, you have a decided advantage over the people who don't. And also, you have a way to be able to keep yourself safe over things that eventually cause us to suffer. One of the important aspects of energy awareness training is to end suffering, to end emotional suffering. That's what this work does. And you can say, well, end emotional suffering, you know, how do you do that? Well, if you look at how people suffer, don't we suffer from things that have happened in our past, things that we regretted doing, things that we wish we hadn't done, things that we had done maybe that have shamed us or made us feel bad? And it's kind of, for a lot of people, it still nags at them. They still remember it. You know, people who've gone through abuse or a horrible trauma, you know, they can access those feelings as if it happened yesterday. It's so real. So that's an energy that continues to have an effect on you. Well, how about, let's shift from the past into the future. How about you look at the future and, you know, what is anxiety? What's fear, worry, and anxiety, which is epidemic in this country. It's projecting out into the future a bad outcome, an outcome that's negative, an outcome that's miserable. And that's what a lot of people are doing now with the COVID-19. Whoa, what if I get it, God forbid? What if I get it? What if, things stay shut down until fall? What if this? And they're painting pictures that create a feeling, that create an emotion. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So we're talking about right now emotions, feelings, and the ability to recognize and to be able to, first of all, know how the emotions work and how they control you, and then learn how to neutralize the negative emotions and accentuate the positive emotions. Does that sound like a good idea? I hope so. Got some research here that I'm going to be talking about a little bit later. So what I just want to finish with this piece is this is what we do in energy awareness training. We just don't talk about topics. We talk about in terms of the training and the information I've been giving you of how energy works. Okay. And the last piece is to recognize that inside us, are energies that are constantly trying to influence us. And because we live in a binary world, binary means two of everything, living in a binary world and in a world of polarity. These are important concepts to understand as we talk about today's subject. What does that mean? A law of polarity. Well, if there's an up, there's a down, right? If there's a good, there's a bad. If there's a male, there's a female. If there's a light, there's a darkness. If the tide goes in, the tide goes out. So in other words, whatever you're dealing with, or whatever you are, whatever you have, whatever you're doing, whatever it is you are, or that you have, or that you want to do, there's an opposite to that. So if you want to be happy, the sadness is the opposite of that. You got to deal with that. If you want to be peaceful, you have to know how to deal with worry and anxiety, right? If you want to be wealthy, you have to know strategies to keep you from being poor, right? Etc. So there's always a connection from one area to the other. It's daytime right now. The sun's out. I know in 6 hours, the sun's going to go down and I'm going to be dealing with a whole different energy called night. So this is so important when on a principle I teach called energy centers, how energy cycles, which there's a cycle, just like the day, there's different parts of the day, morning, noon, afternoon, evening, early evening, midnight, etc. There are different energy cycles that we go through. And this is really important when we're dealing with emotions because, last year at this time, everybody was busy and happy and it was the weekend and people were out and at restaurants and ball games and, playing tennis and whatever they're attending concerts, etc. And who would have thought 1 year later that all of that would be gone? That all of that, you wouldn't be able to do that. If I had said that a year ago, you would have gone, no way. Come on, that could never happen, right? If I told you a year ago that we were going to be quarantined in our house and have to go out wearing masks, you'd say, no way, that could never happen. But it has happened. And the important principle there is to understand that no matter what energy you're in, there's going to be another one coming. There's another cycle coming soon. So we had a great economy a year ago. Economy was one of the best it's ever been. We look at a year later, there's been a cycle, there's been a shift to great to not great. Now, why this is important for you to understand is because it's very similar. It's the same pattern with your emotions. We have certain feelings inside us that we're dealing with. And we want to know today, we're going to be talking about the source, where they come from, and how to deal with it. But it's important to know, and one of the tenets of energy awareness training is that there are energies that are trying to influence us every day. In a binary world, meaning two energies. So just like there's up and down, right and wrong, left and right, there's what Tesla called the high vibration energies. And these are the energies of happiness, joy, peace, abundance, blessings, all the stuff that we want. And then there's the flip side of that, which are the low vibration energy emotions of anxiety, stress, worry, fear, lack, darkness. That's the stuff that we don't want. Now, these energies are constantly trying to influence us. Okay, the high vibration energy is trying to inspire us, trying to have us be more and do more and achieve more and feel good and spread kindness and goodness and blessings and be creative and be generous and be a giver. All the things that make human beings good. That's the high vibrational energy. Well, the low vibration energy is just the opposite. It wants to block that. It wants to keep you out of high vibration energy, and it wants to pull you into fear, worry, anxiety, stress, because that's the polarity and that's the agenda. So it uses things like chaos, disruption, upheaval, violence, etc. Do we see any of that going on in the world right now? The world's filled with it. So the important thing I want you to take for you new people is that these energies and these energetic laws, they work externally out in the world. You can see them, and they work internally as well. So today, what do we have? We have a global pandemic. We have an energy called COVID-19. Now, remember I said all energy has a power, a purpose, a frequency, a direction. It gives off information. So if we apply that to the virus, let's see, it has a power. Well, does it have a power? You bet it has a power. It's so powerful, it's taken over the whole globe and it changed the whole world. Okay, so it's definitely powerful. That's a way of identifying how strong it is. Does it have a purpose? Yes, it has a purpose to infect people and to cause negativity, chaos, sickness. Whoa, okay, well, that's the purpose. What kind of purpose is that? It's a low vibration energy purpose. Great. Does it have an intelligence? Yes, it knows how to mutate and to spread on its own. So wherever it is, it knows how to spread. So there's an intelligence there, right? And what direction does it want to take people? It wants to take you down. So that's the information that we get about something outside of ourselves, out in the physical world. But how about internally? Okay, how about let's talk about emotions now and energies, because you can describe the same characteristics from internal energy as you can in external energy. So let's say I have a feeling. Well, I kind of like the way I'm feeling right now. I have a feeling of happiness and joy and positive expectation. Okay, that's the way I'm feeling right now. I hope you are too, or at least by the time you get through listening to this broadcast. So let's look at that energy. Okay, does it have a power? Yes, it does. It has a power to change my life, to bring me into a high vibratory place, which is very healthy. Okay, that's the power. The purpose is to move up, to move out, to expand, to grow, to feel good. Does it have an intelligence? Yes, it does. It has an intelligence in that it recognizes that high vibration energy, happiness, joy, peace, kindness, create more of the same. So wherever I am creating and exhibiting high vibrational energy, I'm going to create more of the same. Okay, and what direction is it taking me? It's taking me up, right? And that's the information it gives me. So these are the energies that we're dealing with, that are operating, and that we are fundamental to navigating this world, because everything that we're dealing with, again, is an energy. And I teach a principle called the law of direction. And the law of direction is simply whatever thought or emotion or behavior or activity you're doing, it's going to be moving in a direction. It's going to have the characteristics of either a high vibration energy direction or a low vibration energy direction. Another translation is it's going to make you happier, and it's going to be responsible for long-time health, happiness, joy, peace, or it's going to take you in a direction that's headed towards not feeling good, towards worry, fear, doubt, ultimately suffering. So which would we rather have, happiness, joy, and peace, or suffering? Of course, we want the happiness and the joy and the peace, but this is the ability to be able to detect and read invisible energies, because they don't come with a sign on them. You know, the person that you're going to date doesn't say, "Hi, I know I look good, but I'm really low vibration," right? Or investment doesn't say, "You know, it looks like a good deal, but you're going to lose all your money, God forbid." You know, or a place you're going to move to says it looks like a great neighborhood, but it's built upon a septic tank, and you're going to have to move out in 2 years. Right? It doesn't say that. So all of these things that hit us, and want to pull us out of our happiness and center into worry, doubt, fear, stress, it's an energy. And what you're learning here in these classes, how to be able to, first of all, recognize that you're an energetic being, that you're a vehicle of energy, an electromagnetic energy system housed in this physical body, and that you are projecting energy everywhere you go. And remember, binary system, duality, you're receiving energy as well too. Now, if you're aware of that, of how that works, then you want to consciously send out only high vibrational energy, right? Because whatever you put out comes back. Good, bad, or ugly comes back 200%. That's the statistic. Whatever I put out comes back to me. And I'm absorbing the energy of people around me. So this is one of the things that we teach, is be able to recognize the difference between high vibration and low vibration. And once you recognize a low vibration energy person, place, or thing, stay away from it. Put as much distance as you can, just like the virus, because low vibration energy is a virus. It's an energetic virus, and it spreads and it infects people, right? When you're around negative people or depressed people or people who are always complaining, it's not long before you kind of go, ugh. You kind of feel the yuckiness, and that's an energy that's trying to pull you down. You hang out with depressed people, you're going to get depressed. Hang out with happy, joyful people who are grateful, people who are looking for the good in every situation. That's contagious too. Okay, so that's our preface of how energy goes, and hope that's pretty clear. Just looking at the chat here. Hey, Maury, glad you're here. Good to see you, Christina. Welcome. All right, you guys. All right, so we're talking about emotions today. So we're going to talk about them in terms of energy awareness. Now, let's move on with this. So remember the law of duality? Law of duality is if you have up, you have down. If you have an in, you have an out. If you have a physical, you have a non-physical. Guys with me on that? Okay. And all you guys on the chat, if you're watching me now, I appreciate you just saying hi, telling me where you're from, being interactive. Let me know that you're here, because that helps me with the broadcast and helps me find out what you guys are getting, what you're not getting, or what you'd like me to talk on. And it helps me get a wider range of views for the broadcast. So appreciate you saying hi on the chat as you're watching me. Okay, so let's move into this concept of an energy body. We got a physical body, right? We're talking about two, law of duality, binary system. Well, if we got a physical body, then the other equivalent of that is that we have an energetic body, right? So we have a physical body and an energetic body. And that's the vernacular that many in the energy fields are talking about, an energy body, or a place that contains our emotions, a place where we feel our emotions. Now, it's funny when people get stressed out, you know where they usually feel it? Right around here. People who go, oh, you get bad news, like, oh, around your solar plexus or your abdomen. And that's the location of the energy body. That's where we store our emotions. Now, this is where we feel it. So when you're moving into a stressful situation, a lot of times you get knots in your stomach, where you feel kind of queasy. Where do you feel it? You feel it down here, because this is what science is calling your second brain, your solar plexus abdominals, that we have, that's an intelligence there that also accesses and processes information along with our regular brain. So we use that in energy awareness training to be able to understand that as we move out into the world, as we move our physical bodies out in the world, and you walk around during the day, body gets dirty, you got to take a shower, you got to clean it. It's the same thing with our energy bodies. Every day we deal with some form of stress, going out to make a living, stressful, trying to stay in shape. There's some stress involved, paying your bills, maintaining a relationship, raising a family, paying your taxes, dealing with the political fallout, dealing with, a COVID-19 epidemic. So much of life throws so many things at us, and we're kind of trying to navigate it. We're trying to process this. We're trying to deal with it. And when we have an energy that's low vibration energy, whether it's a thought, a feeling, or an emotion, that's a unit of energy. And that energy gets stored in our in our emotional body. So if I go out and I go out for a 2-mile run and I come back, the effect of that 2-mile run is I'm going to have a lot of perspiration and sweat on my body, right? That's the effect of that activity. So normally, okay, after you go to the gym and work out or exercise, you take a shower and you clean yourself. But it's funny that we don't do that with our energetic bodies, with our emotions. But every time you're dealing with a low vibration or a negative thought or emotion, you're getting a deposit of that low vibration in your energy body. So let's say you're driving and all of a sudden somebody cuts you off and gives you the finger and swears at you. You're feeling, there's stress there. You feel it. It's a low vibration negative energy, and that's a deposit in your energy field, in your energy body. Or when you have an argument with someone, or when you get some bad news, or when you turn on the news and you hear the latest findings of what's happening and all the people who are the toll, people who are sick, and the death toll. You're like, ugh. That's an energy, and you can feel it. Now that energy gets stored in your energy body, and if you don't clean it or dissolve it, it's going to stay there. Now, imagine accumulating all these little bits of low vibration energy. And you can say, well, how does that work, Glenn? It's simple. If I have a thought, let's say I'm out and about, and I say to myself, oh, did I leave the stove on? Oh my gosh, I left the stove on. I'm not sure if I did and I didn't, but just the very thought that I left the stove on makes me think of, oh, it could start a fire, God forbid, it could do this, or all of a sudden, from that one thought, unleashes all these emotions inside. You're out at a movie, right? You're enjoying the movie, and then the thought comes, did I lock the front door? God, maybe I left the front door open. Oh my gosh, I left the front door open. Somebody could be robbing me at this time right now. And what is that? It's the thought that's activated a feeling, an emotion. And that emotion is starting to spread, and it takes you over. So now you can't think about that movie. You got to go home and make sure the front door's closed, or call somebody and make sure the front door's closed. And those are examples on and on of this. But what you see is, you see how thought can completely disrupt you from being peaceful. Okay? Now, again, I'm going to remind you, the high vibration energy's purpose is to give you peace, happiness, joy, health. The low vibration energy is to disrupt you, is to cause you misery and suffering. So how do you know which one is which? Simple. When you're feeling at peace, when you're feeling healthy, when you're feeling joy, you're in a high vibrational energy, because those are the characteristics of high vibrational energy. Now, if you're feeling stressed, if you're worried, if you're down, if you got anxiety over something, you're in a low vibration energy frequency. Why? Because those are the characteristics of low vibration energy. Now, we're talking about emotions today, but it's very important, because remember I talked to you about there's a deeper reality that drives our physicality. So when we're talking about emotions, there's a deeper level of reality, which we call the energies, that drive our emotional well-being or our emotional dysfunction. And it all stems from the energies. Okay, it's all driven by energies. Now, I'm not aware of anybody else in the world teaching this, so you guys are right on the cutting edge. Because, when we think of emotions, men, as a general rule, tend to be less emotional. Women, as a general rule, tend to be more emotional. Now, men have a tendency to be more logical, to sort by logic. Women, a lot of times, sort by emotion, or you could say by intuition or by feeling. Now, when it comes to feeling our feelings, okay, let's classify them in the right order. Because when we're dealing with, when we say, oh, they're so emotional, oh, the guy, he's a victim of, or she's a victim of, or they're a victim of their emotions. It's that when you hear those terms being thrown around, it's never that they're a victim of their positive emotions, right? You never hear somebody say, oh, he's too happy. Oh, that guy has too much bliss, right? Or I think that incredible joy is going to eat him up. You never hear that. Why? Because our natural state is to be happy, is to be joyful, is to be positive, is to be proactive, is to expand and to grow. That's our normal thing. So when you're talking to people, how you doing? Doing great. How you doing? How's your day going? Great. Have a nice one. That's the operating language that we're created to deal with, that we come into this world. That's our natural default mechanism. So when we're dealing with emotions that trip us up or that aren't good for us, they're in the category of low vibration emotions. So typically when somebody's emotional, what does that mean? Well, maybe they're angry, right? Or they're resentful, or they're hysterical, or they're violent, etc. And what category are those things? They're all low vibration energy emotions. Okay, they're all fall into low vibration energy. Again, what's the purpose of low vibration energy? To keep you out of high vibration energy and to make you suffer. Okay, so that's the first recognition. So when we get emotions, usually it's because they're taking us into a dark place, a place of sadness, of fear, of worry, of loneliness, etc. So now, when you're able to sort and code these emotions based upon energy, it's a real eye opener, because for a lot of people, they become victims of their emotions. So it's like, why'd you do that? A lot of guys who end up in jail, they go, why'd you do it? Or why'd you shoot that gun? Or I don't know. I was just, we were talking, and then it got escalated, and then I got angry, and then one thing led to another, and then okay. Or people, or sometimes when you're in a fight or in an argument, and you'll start saying mean things or things that it's going to hurt the person you're having an argument with, and then when the hurricane of the argument ends, you go, wow, I can't believe I said that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And why did you do it? I got emotional. The emotions took me over, etc. So this is very important information. This could be life-saving information for you guys, to make sure that you don't move into extreme emotions, because the low vibration energy, which is job it is to keep you in anxiety, fear, and stress, which ultimately leads to suffering. That's its job. So if it can ignite negative emotions in you, it can pull you over to that dark side. Is that clear? So every time here I am, it's a beautiful day, and here in Southern California, sky's blue, everything. So I'm now in a high vibration energy state, grateful, happy, peaceful. Now, if I have a thought that comes in and says, yeah, but the virus is out there, somebody could have it, you might get it, what will you do then? And here are these thoughts trying to do what? They're literally trying to infiltrate my thoughts, so that it can grab a hold of my thoughts, and then pull those thoughts into a feeling. Go like, yeah, and then expand that feeling into an emotion. And if it expands it into an emotion, then it can drive into a behavior. And now all of a sudden I'm here going, yeah, what if that happens? Maybe, what's going to happen with work or money, or what's going to happen? And what's just happened? You've seen an evidence of that's how the low vibration energy works. It infiltrates subtly through the thoughts. Because understand, this is how human beings work, guys. Your thoughts will create a feeling. That feeling will expand more intensely into an emotion. That emotion will expand into a motivation, into a desire either to do something or not to do something, or to get something, to avoid something, which will physicalize as a behavior. That's the thought. That's the process. Thoughts create feelings, which expand into emotions, which create motivations. Okay, now that I've got this emotion, so if I'm letting the fear of the coronavirus, I'm going, oh man, the thought becomes a feeling, becomes an emotion, and that's going to go, oh, I better stay in the house, or I better not do this, or I better do that. And what energy is driving me? Is it high vibration or is it low vibration? It's a low vibration energy that's going to affect my behavior. And ultimately, our behaviors and the actions that we take create our lives. So if you want to know what the state of your life is and how it got that way, what, good, bad, or ugly, it stems from that process, because those are the process that creates action, that creates what you do. And I have a saying that says that which life doesn't come to you, it comes from you. So what creates our experience? What creates our reality? Well, you backtrack it down, my actions. Well, what drove my actions? Well, my behavior. The way I behave, good, bad, or ugly, creates the actions that I create. Well, what creates my behavior? The motivations inside me. Well, what creates the motivations inside you? Well, my emotions, my perceptions, my beliefs about the way I think things are. Okay, well, what creates those? What creates that? It's the feeling I get where I should do this, I shouldn't do that. I should, yeah, okay. Well, what creates the feeling? The thought about it. Okay, you see how we go step by step back? Now, here's the big question. What creates the thoughts? And the big answer is your energy. Your energy, good, bad, or ugly, creates your thoughts. Now, if you're not energetically aware, you're going to believe that any thought that you have is real. So when a thought comes into your head that says, you can't be happy because, Tommy Washington beat you up in the second grade, uh, okay, I guess that, or you'll never be able to have the girl you want because the love of your life, Mary Lou, left you. And if Mary Lou left you, no other girl's going to want you. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Or you're never going to get married because your parents, were only fighting. And if you get married, you're going to create that for yourself. So as crazy as those things sound, that's the way it works because these thoughts, energies, and emotions are energies that attach into our energy body. And if we don't clear them on the spot, they stay there. And those energies expand. Okay, is this making sense to you guys? I want to hear from you on the chat. This is pretty deep stuff we're talking about here. It's probably one of the deepest, public classes I've ever given. But these are how these energies work, and this energy body, these energies in your energy body, which have a power, a purpose, an intelligence, a direction, a frequency, will attract more of the same. Is that clear? You guys get that? It attracts more of the same. So if I see a guy, this guy who cuts me, let's say I'm in traffic and there's the same guy I see every morning in the green Mustang, flips me off, the guy doesn't like me because he cut me off or something happened anyway. Every morning it's the finger. Okay. That's going to stay that way. Okay. I'm going to have that dynamic with that guy, which is a negative dynamic unless I change it, unless I wish him well, or, I shake hands with the guy or do something or go another way so I don't have to deal with the guy every day. But do something to change that because nothing changes until energy moves. Okay. And the accumulation of low vibration energy in your energy body does not move. It stays there because low vibration energy is stuck. It's heavy. It's clingy. It pulls you down. It's dark. It's heavy. All the stuff that we don't like. Okay, so that's the way our energies work. Now, the next piece of this is, do the emotions that we feel, are they the authentic emotions that we're feeling at the time? Or are they influenced by the low vibration energy that I'm holding in my energy body? What do you guys think? When you have an upsetting emotion, are you just upset because somebody didn't let the dishes in the sink or didn't put the cap on the toothpaste, or is there more to it? I want to hear from you on the chat. What do you guys think? Hey, Michael. Hey, Katrina. What do you guys think? So remember what we've already established. Low vibration energy creates more low vibration energy. And that could be today's energy. That could be yesterday's energy. It could be the energy from when you were 12 years old. Energy isn't based upon time and space. So that's why you have people who've gone through abuse, who were abused by clergy, priests, and ministers, and that happened to them, when they were 10 years old, and they're 60 years old now, and they're still the effect of it. They still remember it as if it was yesterday. Why? Because that incident that happened to them created a massive amount of low vibration energy that entered into the energy body. Okay, the upset, the pain, the shame, the embarrassment, or whatever it is. And it was never cleansed. It was never cleaned through 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years later. It's still there. Holy smokes. So you have people who are dealing with these things, years, decades, half a century later. They're still dealing with this low vibration energy. And it's still having an effect on them. Okay, you guys with me? You with me on this? We got a good group here. I want you to let me know if you're getting this, because it's important for me to know that, so I can give you the next piece. That when we have low vibration energy, anxiety, stress, worry, fear, some kind of event, something that happens to us where we experience that energy, whether it's just a little bit or whether it's a massive amount, it's stored in your energy body. And unless it is cleaned and dissolved, it will stay and fester and expand. That's why you see so many people, you hear the term midlife crisis. Midlife, well, what's a midlife crisis? You get to a point in your life where your energy body is so filled with low vibration energy, with disappointment, with upset, with divorce, with family problems, work challenges, things didn't happen the way you wanted to. And all of those things, whatever the category, it's all low vibration energy that nestles in that energy body. Now, what happens if you don't clean it? It expands and expands and expands until the point where, you can't take it anymore. And this is a lot of people, they just so filled with anxiety and stress. They go, man, I can't take this anymore. And they go looking for ways to deal with it. Now, there's only one healthy way to deal with it. The other 100 ways are the low vibration energy way to deal with it. So how do people deal with it? Well, they use drugs or alcohol. You get drug, you can numb it out you can numb yourself for a while, but it's going to come back. Some people, get involved in porn or sex or affairs or escorts or that thing. Sex addiction is huge in this country. And it's used what? To numb those feelings. I work with a lot of people in sex addiction. And usually it's a cover up for some major upset or trauma that they went through as kids, or abuse situations. And that pain is so intense, they got to cover it up. They got to have something to get some relief. Well, all of these things, whether it's sex, drugs, alcohol, gambling, food, you name it, they're counterfeit. It's a counterfeit way to deal with that energy because it's low vibration energy. All of these things, that's what addiction is. Addiction is a great example of low vibration energy. Because Low vibration energy creates more what, guys? More low vibration energy. So if I'm drinking to numb myself, because that's low vibration energy, now I just don't have one problem. I'm going to have two problems. Now I'm going to become an alcoholic, or dependent upon alcohol or drugs or sex addicts or food binger or all of these things. Now I've just doubled my misery. Double your misery, double your fun. And so you see how these principles work? Every principle that I give you at the beginning of the class, I'm illustrating how it works in the real life. So we've talked about, the law of duality. We've talked about the law of polarity. We've talked about how the energies work, what the intentions are. We've talked about how energy has a power, a purpose, an intelligence, a direction, and gives off information. Now you can see we're talking about emotions, where these emotions come from. So to answer your question, let me see if anybody answered my original question here on the chat. Alex is with me. Great. Michael, you get the gold ring. How we feel today is influenced by the LVE in our energy body. That's right. Now, everybody's got low vibration energy stored in their energy body. Everybody does. Now, you would think that there should be clinics on every street corner going, come in and clean out your low vibration energy so you can be happy, right? I mean, there are nail salons on every corner to get your nails done, or hair salons or stuff. But we're talking about the most important thing that's directly linked to your happiness. Your hair, yeah, that's important, and your nails. But what's really important is the way you feel inside. That's numero uno. That's number one. And if you don't feel good inside, the best haircut and the best, nail design aren't going to help you. So as we're talking about emotions, and I talk to people who feel so much of the time I can't control my emotions, or something happens and I get angry. I have one CEO client that is very successful. He's dealing with a lot of anger. And that anger controls him, and he doesn't like who he is. When he gets angry, he goes, I don't like that person, but I'm out of control. I don't know. It's something stirs in me. I don't realize what it is. Well, I'm explaining it to him, and explaining it to you how these emotions work. So when something takes you over and brings you to a place you don't want to be, that's not who you are, because you wouldn't choose that. You wouldn't choose to be depressed. You wouldn't choose to be angry. You wouldn't choose to be pissed off. You wouldn't choose to be resentful. You wouldn't choose that. Why? Because those are low vibration energies that lower your immune system, and they're very unhealthy. Now, the challenge is, though, when we feel it, what do we do about it? Well, in what I teach my students in energy awareness training is to recognize, just like we have thoughts, we're not our thoughts. We have emotions, and we're not our emotions. And how can you say, what do you mean we're not our emotions? You have emotions, but you're not those emotions. Haven't you ever been you gotten some news or some piece of information, and you thought somebody did something, maybe something that harmed you, or somebody took something from you, or somebody disrespected you or something, and you freaking blew your top, and you go, man, that guy was so, you get all mad, and you're ready to wring that guy's neck, that girl's neck. And then you found out, oh, that was a mistake. Oh, it wasn't what you thought it would be. It was different. They didn't disrespect you after all. It was all a misunderstanding. Oh, well, what does that mean? That means that emotional outburst was not genuine. It means it was an error. It was a mistake. It was completely unnecessary. Does that happen to you? Happened to all of us at some time or another, right? When we get mad, or we get pissed, or we get offended at something, and we feel the emotions come up. How dare they? Or I thought that guy was my friend. He betrayed me. I have a friend of mine on Facebook, and He traveled over to Thailand and met a nice Thai girl, and they were very close, and for a number of months. And I thought, oh, maybe they're going to get married. He seems to be nice. This guy's from Europe and she's from Thailand. It was 6 months, lovey-dovey, love you, honey, love you too. I'm just watching this all play out on Facebook. And and yesterday I see the posts, you cheated on me. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. How could you say that? You let me down. I mean, they're fighting on Facebook. I mean, it's kind of comical to read. I'm like, whoa, what happened here? Emotions out of control. And this is an example. Now, she said she did. I didn't. I didn't. But here's the thing. If you're being pulled in low vibration energy, whether it's true or whether it's not true, you're the one who's going to suffer, not them. Whoever did anything to you or insulted you or quote unquote betrayed you, God forbid all those things, but we perceive those things and we get upset, we react to them, they go, how good they are. And then we lower our immune system and then we put big deposits of low vibration energy into our energy body. And then we find out, oh, it was a mistake. Gee, I got upset for nothing. I was all worried about it for nothing. 90% of the people who were worried here, around the world about the virus, that's not going to happen. They're not going to get it. So, it's one thing to be concerned. I'm concerned, but I can stay in high vibration energy and be concerned about it. But I'm not going to go into fear and allow the fear, which is a low vibration energy, to affect me. See, that's the difference. I'm not saying to be a robot and not react. People are unkind or if something happens, but I'm not going to let them take me into an unhealthy environment, an unhealthy place, which is going to hurt me. You may have heard the story. I'll tell it one more time briefly, which is an example of this, of driving out of my local market. I was driving out of my local market. I was going to make a left-hand turn, and I look around. I know some of you have heard this, but it's a good story. I'm going to make a left-hand turn, just about to turn left, and all of a sudden this guy comes 100 miles an hour down the street, 100 miles an hour down a residential street, and I'm about to make a left-hand turn, and he screeches on his brakes, goes, it stops, 6 feet from me, almost broadsides my car. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And then the guy says, roll down. He says to me to roll down my window, right? So, okay, he wants you to roll down. Okay, I'll roll down my window. He probably wants to apologize, right? For almost killing me, right? All right. No. What he wants to do is he wants to start yelling and he wants to start screaming and saying that I shouldn't be in the middle of the street. What a jerk I am, and I'm thinking to myself, what? This guy's driving 100 miles an hour. He's completely wrong. I'm completely right. And he's screaming at me. And then he wants to get out and fight, and I'm like, did that stir up emotions in me? You better believe it did. And all the emotions of, who does this guy think he is? He disrespected me. He's a jerk. I got to go teach him a lesson. This is not right. And all the emotions stirred up inside me. Now, thank God I'm energetically aware, because what I do and what I teach you, those of you who are my students, to do every time you're dealing with an energy is to say, what energy is this? Anytime you're dealing with an emotion, what emotion is this? Wait 1 second. And that's the training. It doesn't come easy, but it comes if you're trained to just take 1 second before I go over there and let them have it. Wait 1 second. What's this energy I'm feeling? I'm feeling anger. I want revenge. I want to teach this guy a lesson. I'm going to show him who's boss. What is that? Okay. All I want you to know is, what kind of energy is that? That's all. I don't have to figure out anything. All I need to know is it's either high or low. It's either high or low. Which one is it? Well, it's pretty apparent. Class, what is it? What are those energies? Revenge. Teach him a lesson. Show him who's boss. An ego. What kind of energy is that? Shout out from wherever you are all over the world. High or low? Together, class? Low. It's a low vibration energy. And what do you know? What have you been taught? Low vibration energy attracts more low vibration energy. In other words, a little bit of suffering is going to create a whole lot of suffering. That's all you need to know. That's the genius of this work. I don't have to figure anything out. I don't have to go into any logical places because I won't. When that happens, the feelings, the emotions take you over. When you're in an intense situation, whether it's an argument or someone threatens you or insults you, the energies they immediately expand in a microsecond. It's what I call a digital reaction. There's a difference between a digital reaction and an analog reaction. The difference is that an analog reaction goes, I think things get, you start talking with someone, and especially if you talk about politics, and then they're on the other side, and you're talking to them, you go, I don't think this is right. Oh, I think it's right. Well, I think that guy's a jerk. Oh, I think he's a great guy. Oh, no. And all of a sudden, you can feel it starting to escalate. And if you're energetically aware, you start going, we're moving in the low vibration energy. This is getting angry. This is getting heated. Ego is coming up, the wanting to be right. Anytime you have to insist on being right, you're bringing in ego, which is the crown prince of low vibration energy. The necessity to be right and lord over somebody else. So when that happens, it happened to me, I go, that's an example of an analog extension. It's getting more, it's getting bigger. Okay, I better back off. Okay, and I remember having the same guy. You know what? This is getting heated and it's moving into a negative place. I'm going to back off now. I'm going to wish you well. Whatever you want to believe, is your business. But I'm going to end this conversation wishing you the best and want you to have a great life. And if things got heated, I'd say, and if I did anything to insult you, please forgive me. Okay, that's how I'm going to back out of that, because I'm energetically aware. Because I know if I keep talking to them, no matter how right I am, all it's going to do is it's going to move into low vibration energy, and it's going to expand and compound. So the same thing is with that guy in the car. I know right now I got the blueprint. The blueprint is specifically says to me, because I'm energetically trained, okay, let's identify the energy that you're just about to jump into. Is it high vibration or is it low? It's a low vibration energy. Great. What do you know about your training? If you enter into that energy field, what are you going to get more of? More low vibration energy, also known as suffering. So if I go over there and I teach him a lesson and I beat the guy up, the cops can come and take me away for assault. If I go over there and he beats me up, then I go to the hospital and he goes to jail. If we beat each other up, then we both go to the hospital and then we both go to jail. I don't see any high vibration energy there, do you? It looks like complete low vibration energy. So what do? I put off my initial need and desire to be right, to teach him a lesson, to get even. And I said, okay, I'm going to move. I took a pause, and that's what I want you guys, what we're going to learn here in a minute or two. You'll learn the pause, because when you put the pause in, when emotions come in, the pause gives you the ability, because when the emotions come in, it's low vibration energy. When you're pissed off, when you want to react, when someone's disrespecting you, when how dare they, or it's all low vibration energy. And that low vibration energy is going to create more low vibration energy. And people say, well, Glenn, I don't know what to do about it. Well, this is the concept I'm talking about. I explained what analog is, which is a gradual escalation. And a digital reaction is boom, right there. It's immediately appears, as an intense situation. And that's a tough thing to deal with when the emotions show up in a digital form, because the digital form completely takes you over. And you got to be trained and have skills to be able to put that pause in, put the pause in. Okay. That's why I call this training. Step by step, you learn how to do these skills, but they're all learnable and they're all available for everybody to learn so that your emotions don't take you down. That's what takes most people down. Their emotions. Why did you do that? Why did you shoot that guy? I got emotional. Why did you say those mean things? I was emotional. I told a story a couple of nights ago. I think it was during my level 1 training about Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp was married to this beautiful actress, and in the beginning it was beautiful and it was love and roses and everything like this, but over time, low vibration energy started to emerge. Now, here's an important fact for y'all about relationships. We grow up to think that we should be in a relationship. Wouldn't it be great to be in a relationship? Because we're all thinking about the candy. We're thinking about the good stuff. Wouldn't it be great to have somebody's hand to hold and to go to the movies with and to make love and to be close and to have all those things? Of course it would be. But remember what I taught you at the beginning of the class. This is one of my best classes, by the way. I'm going to make sure I put this on YouTube. Remember what I taught you at the beginning of the class, the law of polarity. If you're dealing with one energy, you're going to deal with the other energy as well. You can't deal with one without the other. It's a package deal. You can't just deal with the daytime and not deal with the nighttime. You can't. They come together. It's part of the system. But we're never taught that. When people get married, they think, oh, I've got a companion for life, and I've got a lover, and I got all that. Yeah, okay, that's the day part. Let me tell you what the night part is, okay, or the flip side of that. That person in your life, whether they're aware of it or not, their job is to instigate and ignite your negative emotions. Letting that set for a minute. Their job is to alert you and awaken you to the darkness inside you, to the low vibration energy that you haven't healed yet, so that it can come up, and it will come up. I guarantee it'll come up. So when couples fight, or when there's disagreement, or when there's issues, what do you think it is? Do you think it's just because you left the cap off the toothpaste, or you left your socks on the floor? No, those are instigators to bring up and activate that low vibration energy in your energy body. So if you had somebody who maybe was an authority figure who told you what to do, for example, and could be a parent or could be a drill sergeant or whoever, somebody that you had lots of low vibration energy, lots of anger, lots of resentment towards. When they tell you to pick up your socks off the floor, your energy immediately associates that with that person that you didn't like and puts you in that same framework. And it's like you're reliving that upsetting or that unpleasant memory that you had, when you were a kid. So what relationships do is they activate all of your unresolved low vibration energy. Now, if you have skills and you learn how to do energy awareness training, you'll be able to know what to do when that comes up. You'll be able to recognize that it's an energy, that it's a reaction to something that was stuffed in your energy body a long time ago, and that it was never dissolved, it was never healed, it was never released. Now, most people don't have energy awareness training. So when these issues come up, and it's a two-way street, the woman will ignite the issues for the man will ignite the issues for the woman, etc. Now, if you don't have the tools and the energy awareness to deal with this, what you'll be doing is you'll be constantly reactivating pain, reactivating painful memories, painful experiences, painful energies, again and again and again without resolution. So you wonder why sometimes couples, in divorce court, they're married 10, 15, 20 years, and they have kids, they had a family, and they hate each other. Oh, they hate them. They go into court, and they're just, they want to screw each other over as best they can. The vindictiveness, you've seen that. It happens every week somewhere. How does that happen? How can it be that the person that you wanted to be in a relationship with, that you wanted to love, that you wanted to be the most intimate person with you, all of a sudden becomes your bitter enemy? And that your love and your sensitivity and your compassion is turned to hatred and turned to vengeance and revenge. This is why, folks, because that person, unbeknownst to them, consciously or unconsciously, has activated your most painful moments. And those painful moments, relived over and over and over again, bring suffering. It's low vibration energy. And what does low vibration energy create more of? More low vibration energy. So in order for you to have a successful relationship, the two have to be aware, first of all, understand how the game is played, of understanding, creating a base of love and respect, and going forward knowing you will hurt each other. Yes, you will. You will activate each other's pain. Yes, you will. That's part of the process. Now, the good part of it is, in a loving, supportive relationship, you can recognize that it's an energy pattern that's been reactivated, and have the tools to help heal, your mate, your beloved, from the wounds of their past. Now, the more work you do on yourself before you get into a relationship is the higher quality of relationship you're going to have. If you don't do any of this work, and you've got, hundreds of bits of low vibration energy in your energy body, you get in a relationship, is it any wonder why people have been into 10, 20, 30 relationships? Why you see people have been married 5, 6, 7, 8 times, 9 times. Why did they do it? I think Larry King's been married 8 times, and the last one, God bless him, is ending in a divorce too. So that was 8 times. Is there something wrong with this picture? Yes. And I'm bringing up the relationship part because that's what triggers our emotions. It's the people that we love and that we care about that have access to our deeper feelings and our deeper emotions. It's not the people we don't care about. Some stranger says something nasty to you, so what? He doesn't know you. You don't know him. He can't hurt you. It's the people that you love. It's the people that you trust and what they do. That's why forgiveness is such an important part of energy awareness training. Forgiveness, release, letting go, disconnecting, all that. Part of the power of this work is the ability to just keep letting it go every day, just letting it go. I mean, there's songs like that. It's important. Let go, forgive, because ultimately what comes our way is a message for us. It's a message that, hey, are you upset? Are you discombobulated? Are you pissed off? Where's the message for you? It's not about them. They're just the messenger to bring you the information. Oh, I got some low vibration energy festering inside me that I have to get out. Now, is this making sense to everybody? Okay, this is powerful stuff. This is probably the most I've ever gone into it in class here. Okay, take a couple of questions and then we will start to wind up. Hey, Dave, how do we respond to one thing? It's how we respond to everything. That's a tendency. As a general rule, that seems to be true, meaning that we have a pattern. Okay, but you can't say that how you do one thing is how you do everything, because you know you treat a stranger that you don't know the same way you treat your beloved. Probably not. Um, so there are exceptions to the rule, but I think what Harv Eker was meaning is that we have a tendency, if we are meticulous and committed to excellence in our jobs, we'll have a tendency to be committed to excellence in our personal life too. If somebody's a go-getter, professionally, they have a tendency to be a go-getter in their private life too. So these things bleed over. Uh, so it's not 100% true, but it's a tendency. If you've got a kickback attitude towards life, and you're gonna let things come, well, you're probably going to do that in all aspects of your life, in relationships and business, because that's kind of your operating system. Remember, we all have an energetic operating system, and that operating system operates in all the areas of our lives, professional and personal, and relationship itself. So that's where that quote came from. All right. Any more questions on this? I do. Tough guy. That's what my agent said when I was an actor for about 2 months here in LA. She says, you could do the tough guy roles. I don't know. Why would people say that when I'm such a teddy bear? You guys, I kind of know the answer. Why would people think I'm such a tough guy when I'm just a teddy bear? Loving teddy bears. That's a mystery. All right. So let's scale this down here. What did we learn today? So we've learned about energy awareness. We learned that the invisible drives the visible. We learned that there's a deeper reality that's unseen, that controls the physicality. Right? We learned that there are energies, there are energy forces in this unseen world that influence us. It's like an internal tug of war. One energy wants the best for us. One energy wants the worst for us. As crazy as that sounds, yeah, I can illustrate it all day long. So understanding that if it was all positive, then we wouldn't have any negative thoughts, right? We wouldn't have negative emotions. But it's not. We have to deal with both of these forces. And if you're not energetically aware and you choose not to deal with them, that's okay. You're just giving your power over to the low vibration energies, and they're going to smack the crap out of you until you wake up. How much anxiety and stress do you want to go through? It's up to you. There are tools to be able to deal with this, and they're easy to do. They're easy not to do. But that low vibration energy does not want you learning these tools. That low vibration energy inside you does not want you to become energetically aware. Why? Because it'll lose its power over you. It won't be able to frighten you. It won't be able to worry you or scare you anymore, because you have the tools to diffuse that. You see how that works? Now, we're talking about emotions today. What are emotions? Here's the last piece. Our emotions are connected to low vibration energy and are virtual time cluster bombs living inside us that are waiting to blow up the minute they get instigated. So if you've been hurt, if you got hurt in your past, from a parent or from a sibling or something that took place, and that's not resolved, that's a big unit of energy that's sitting inside you that will be ignited sooner or later. So when people turns into big problems, I was talking about midlife crisis. What happens in midlife crisis for people? They look at their lives, they're going, hey, this wasn't the way I thought it was going to be. This isn't what I thought I'd be at 40 or at 50 or at 60. Hey, man, this sucks. And you're at war with yourself. You disapprove of your life. You disapprove of what's taking place. And now you've got a big cluster bomb going off of low vibration energy inside you that people call midlife crisis, breakdowns, out of control, etc. And here comes the drugs. Here comes the prescription medicines. Here comes all that baloney to try to deal with an energy that can only be resolved if it's taken out in high vibrational energy. So that's the last piece about this. Now, how do we take this energy out? Okay. Well, this is where the training comes in. You have to learn, first off, to be able to release your daily low vibration energy. That's the daily stuff. And I've given you a method to be able to do that. I'll do a quick method for you here in a second to be able to do that. But this is a skill that you're learning. And this is what I teach. I teach this in my coaching. I teach this in my classes on how to do this. I can't teach the whole thing, in one class, once a week. But what I can do is I can give you a bit and pieces of this and hopefully inspire you to learn and to commit to learning energy awareness training, which is probably the smartest thing you can do because it affects everything that you're doing. There's nothing you're doing in your life that energy awareness training won't protect you from or show you how to maximize your advantage with, because it's all energy, right? So you learn bits and pieces of this. Hopefully you go, wow, I want to learn this, and you contact our offices and say, what's the next step? What do I do? What do I, what's available, and we'll work with you on it. And those of you right now in a tough time and you don't know what's happening and money's worth something, at least you're getting a class here of top level instruction, the virtually the similar information I teach my premium students, not quite the same, but a little bit of it, enough for you to be able to expand your learning of energy awareness training. Okay. So what I want to teach you guys today is just to pause and to be able to learn to recognize two skills. Whatever situation you're in, if you feel like you're losing control or that it's trying to control you, the ability to recognize what energy is it? Is it high vibration or is it low vibration? That's essential information for you to get, because right away that's going to tell you if it's high vibration energy, it's going to be more happiness ahead. Now, here's a hint. When you're in a high vibration energy, you never have to ask what kind of energy you're in. You only have to ask it when you're not feeling good, when you're upset or when you're threatened. That's when you want to go, hey, I don't feel good. This isn't the way I normally feel. What energy is this? Well, how do I know? Well, I'm feeling anxiety, stress, worry, doubt, uncertainty. What energy is that? Is that high vibration or low vibration? See, part of the skills in learning energy awareness training is to know what energy field you're in. That's so important. This is all just entertainment unless you commit to learning the skills. And the first skill is really being able to read energies and to know. In fact, that's a good practice for you guys. Between now and our next class, this week, if you're watching TV, look at who's the high vibration energy characters and who are the low vibration energy characters, right? What's the scene that they're in? Is it a high vibration energy scene or is it a low vibration energy place, right? You'll start to recognize these energy patterns in everything. You go out, is it a high vibration energy place you're at or is it low vibration? Is it a place where people are happy, open, and free? Or is it a place where there's fear and worry and excitement and doubt? You want to see fear, stand in line at the grocery store, and start and try to strike up a conversation with somebody who's got a mask on. It looks like Freddy Krueger. That's funny. All right. Any questions here or comments before we do our last process going out? Two things you're learning here. Number one, recognizing that emotions that trouble you are all low vibration energy emotions. Fear, worry, doubt, grief, upset, all that. It's low vibration energy. And if you stay in that direction, you're going to get more of the same. So first thing is to be able to recognize it. Second is to be able to put the pause in. I'm going to demonstrate that to you right now. Put the pause in. Just checking this list here. You're with me. Great. See if anything comes in. Looking good. All right. Anybody who hasn't said hi to me on the chat, I appreciate it if you would. If you're getting something from this, I hope you are. There's a lot of value to this class here. I'm kind of proud of it myself because I know when the concepts are flowing, that I can feel the energy of the class. And this is a real high energy class. Just say hi. It helps me share. And sharing and giving is high vibrational energy. Anytime you can share, anytime you can give, even if it's just a hello or a like or a share, hey, you're creating more high vibration energy, more goodness. So appreciate that. All right. Now, I've taught you the basic pattern in the previous classes of the ability to get out of your head, to get into your lower body. That's so important. Whenever you're feeling emotional, remember that it's going to have a power over you. Whenever you find yourself starting to get upset or get emotional or starting to break down or something, that's a wave. It's like a wave that's going to build to a tidal wave and take you over if you let it. But it starts with a thought that expands into a feeling, that escalates into an emotion, and that blows up into behavior. So what do we want to do with that? I want you to develop the skill of observing yourself, observing your thoughts, observing your emotions like you're watching yourself. So it's like being at the side of a river. As I'm on the side of the river's flowing, and I can see where the rocks are. I can see where the rapids are. I can see where the shallow pools are because I'm watching the river. However, if I'm in the river, I can't see any of that stuff. All I can see is what's in front of me, and I'm trying to keep from capsizing because I'm in the river. And I'm hoping that I'm not getting close to a waterfall or else, I'm going to be done. So it's the same thing with your thoughts and your emotions. Instead of just being at the effect of them and just thinking, I have a thought, so I got to think it, or I got a feeling, I got to feel it. No. Energetic awareness training is training you to be aware, to observe what's taking place inside you so that you don't have to be a victim of your own thoughts and your own emotions. This is what this does, the ability to observe, to be the observer, to step back and go, oh, it's interesting. Those thoughts, are they high vibration or are they low vibration? My emotions, where do these thoughts, feelings want to take me? Do they want to take me into happiness? I don't think so. They want to take me into sorrow. They want to take me into suffering. Great. So as the observer, what we want to do is step back, is put a pause in there. And a pause is simply what I did when I was tempted to go and fight the guy who almost hit me with the car. I recognized that there was a tidal wave that was starting inside me. I recognized, okay, this tidal wave is going to be a digital effect on me, which is going to come and it's going to sweep me away unless I put the pause or a break or what's also known as a pattern interruption. Unless I go, wait 1 second, before I get involved in this thing, before I move into the emotions and the energies, all this, what energy is it? That's all I want to know. What energy is it? Just pause. What energy is it? And that's going to reveal everything to you. It's low vibration energy. Great. I know low vibration energy creates more suffering. Is that what I want? Do I want to suffer more? Do I want to escalate this to suffer even more? No. Great. Take your big energetic breath, pause, and back off. And back off. You're having an argument with someone, it's starting to escalate. You can feel the adrenaline coming in, the anger. Pause 1 second, take a breath. What energy is this? It's low vibration energy. Because if you have to ask, it's low vibration energy. Great. What do I know? This is what's the law of direction? The law of direction is the low vibration energy is pointing right to me, right towards suffering. Do I want to suffer more? Do you want to suffer more? Do you want to make this thing 10 times worse? No. Okay. You see, when that guy cut me off, I was pissed at, that he inconvenienced my trip back home from the grocery store. Okay, that was kind of a drag. But now, not only did he interrupt that, now we're talking about violence. Now we're talking about fist fights. Now we're talking about maybe the police. Now we're talking about maybe an ambulance. Do I want to deal with all that bull crap? And that's what I did. Oh, wait 1 second. What energy is this? Low vibration energy. What's ahead? More low vibration, more suffering, police, ambulance, lawsuit. Do I want that? No, I don't. Boom. Big breath. And I went immediately into high vibration energy. While the guy was cussing me out, I said, buddy, God bless you. Have a nice day. Be safe. I'm throwing high vibration energy at the guy, and he's getting more pissed off. He's going, what's this guy doing? I'm flipping the guy and cursing the guy, and he's blessing me. And low vibration energy can never overcome high vibrational energy. So when you're in a high vibration energy, you got a protection. You can overcome the low vibration. That's why the low vibration energy wants to keep you out of high vibrational energy, because it knows in a direct connection, the high vibration energy is going to win every time. It's like being in a dark room. I'm in this huge dark room, and I take a little match, and I light the match. Well, even that little teeny little light is going to lighten up the whole place. It's the same thing with your high vibrational energy. When you become energetically aware and observe your thoughts and emotions, and when you notice, you go to a train crossing, and all of a sudden the lights start going ding, 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 ding. Train coming. Be careful. Train coming. Watch yourself. Let that be your train warning inside you. When you start to get upset, when you start to get pissed off, when you get angry, or when you start to get depressed, or any of these low vibration energy emotions, let the train lights go ding, 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 ding. Low vibration energy ahead. You sure you want to proceed? Suffering dead ahead? No thanks. No thanks. Okay. If you put it that way, no thanks. I think I'm fine just the way I am. In fact, I want to connect to more high vibration energy. So when that guy, when we separated and the guy drove away and I drove back to my house, I went into high vibration energy. I was so grateful that I escaped a low vibration energy attack, because that's what it was. It was a low vibration energy attack, and I escaped it. And now I can go home and have my lunch, and I don't have to think about the police or the ambulance or some negative low vibration energy guy. I can stay in high vibration energy. Who's the big winner? Me. Who do I trust? Me. Who put this thing together? Me. That's a little takeoff from Scarface, but that's for you, Dave. That is exactly for you, that impression of Al Pacino, who's a great guy, by the way. Okay, we're having a little fun here, but I hope you guys just ring your bell. When you're dealing with emotions, let this class, and watch this class again. Watch it 2 or 3 times, because there's so much material, there's so much wisdom in here, and it's at a deep level for you to get that. So when you become the master of the pause, or the mistress or master of the pause and of being able to read energy, you will take a giant leap forward in your ability to stay in high vibrational energy. Okay? All right. Any questions before we wrap up? That's our class for today. Hey, Barbara, glad you're here. I'm glad I make you smile. Thank you so much. Any questions on what we talked about? We covered a lot of information, a lot of ground today, energetically. And this is going to be my premier class on emotions, on dealing with the emotions that we have to deal with. Now, I can hear somebody saying, well, Glenn, does that mean you shouldn't feel your emotions? I know somebody's going to say that who watches this class. Are you blocking your emotions? A lot of people say that. Okay, well, we're looking at emotions in terms of energy. I'm not saying don't feel your feelings, right? But what I am saying is if you look at, I'm just down today. Okay, I'm just down today. Can I be down today if I want to be down today? Sure. You want to be down and be depressed today? If that's what you want, well, I'm going to feel my feelings. Yeah, but the whole point of this class was, what's the source of that feeling? Is that an authentic feeling? Or is that a low vibration energy attack you're getting that's trying to influence you to be down today, or to feel, you know, whatever it was, down or worried or anxious? It's certainly your prerogative to do that. But wouldn't it be, if you had a choice, wouldn't you rather feel happy? Wouldn't you rather feel fulfilled, creative, curious, playful? Well, you have the choice to be able to do that. So you can feel whatever feelings you want. But what you're learning here in energy awareness training is where so much of those dark emotions come from. It's not just you feeling your feelings. It's you being played, being manipulated, being influenced by a low vibration energy frequency whose job it is to keep you in low vibration energy. Okay, that's a lot different perspective than just waking up and going, oh, I guess I'm down today. Because looking at it that way, you give away your power. You're powerless. You're thinking, okay, I'm a victim of my feelings or what's going on, or it's a rainy day, so I guess I'm going to be depressed because it's rain. And that's giving away your power. In energy awareness training, we take full control of our energies. We are responsible for the way we feel. And our energy is a decision that we make every day. When I wake up in the morning, and I start my energy routine, I don't ask myself, well, gee, how am I feeling today? Let me look outside and let me read the newspaper and see if there's anything good out. No, I make a decision that I'm going to leave myself feeling happy, feeling positive, feeling abundant, feeling loving. That's my decision, regardless of what anybody else or anything else is doing. This morning, I made the decision to be happy, joyous, and free. That's the way I want to show up in the world today. Now, I've got plenty of reasons not to. If I want to look at them, I can just turn on the news and look at the news for half an hour and let the news dictate, because New York has, 100 new cases of coronavirus, and in Ohio, Grandpa Jones died. Okay, I can let that influence me and go, I'm so down today. But look what's happening. Is that the way you want to be? I say it isn't. And I say, if you had the choice, and you do, then you can make the decision and choose to be happy, joyous, and free, and in control, regardless of what's happening out in the world. That's the promise of energy awareness training, to end suffering, because most suffering is in the mind. Most emotional suffering is in your head, in your thoughts that become feelings, that become emotions, that become behaviors, and to create energetic freedom. Energetic and emotional freedom, the ability to be happy regardless of what's happening out there. People say, why should you be happy when X is happening, or Y is happening, or this? Why? Because I decided to be. Because I'm in control of my energy. because I know this guy named Glenn Ackerman who taught me this thing called energy awareness training. And I realized that I can be happy every day, no matter what's going on. And I'd rather be happy and be healthy than the opposite, right? That's what you tell them if they ask you. Okay, here we go. Getting it. Last comments. Drinking it doesn't drown our problems. It waters them, makes them grow. Ben Franklin, love to that. Good, just checking it out here. Great. All right. Hey, you guys, it's been great being with you. I recommend that, hey, if you got some value out of this, make a high vibration energy act and share this. Share this with people who are down or emotionally whacked out about what's happening out in the world today. You know, let people know that this knowledge is available. I'm trying to get the word out best I can. So I do all day, trying to get the word out to this world that people don't have to suffer and they can be happy and resourceful no matter what comes their way. I'd appreciate your help, and I'm glad that you were with me. God bless you, and I'll see you the next time on our next class. All right, I'll probably be teaching Wednesday this week while the quarantine's still on. So look for me Wednesday night. And please, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do that. And I have a Facebook group called Raise Your Vibration, where I do daily communications on that, where you can get a hold of me. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. God bless. Bye for now.